Hi and welcome to AFTV. I've got Robbie with me. 0-0. Rob, it's not good enough. It really isn't.
It's a very, very poor performance by Arsenal today. Very poor. You know, bottom of the league, Burnley. We saw the results during the week. You know, Spurs getting that win. We saw Man United 2 wins in a row. We needed to win that game today. It's a must win. Pressure's on.
Yep.
Pressure's on. And what was really disappointing about today, we only played in one half, because in the first half we did nothing. And we just played right into their hands. We were so poor today, you know what I mean? There was no creativity. You know, I thought there were so many players below par. I thought Kieran Tierney was very poor today. Never got beyond, you got to get beyond, like say Martinelli's playing there.
Yeah.
He's got to get beyond him.
Yeah. Of course,
and on the same on the other wing, you know what I mean? Ben White, we know he's not a right back, but he's got to get beyond on that side, you know what I mean?
Are you getting
didn't do it.
Are you getting frustrated, Rob, in the sense that, we just seem like we have a plan A and that's it? There was a lot of crosses in the box today, but nothing converted. There was like 17 or 11 crosses.
If you're doing crosses, right, who's good? What are Burnley good at?
Keep winning the balls in the air.
Yeah, so, it was just so poor. I just felt there was just such a lack of creativity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was shocking. And it's very worrying. Yeah. Very worrying. And then when we do eventually work a chance, Lacazette got to bury that, man. Not clinical enough.
Are we in need of a striker? Everyone's talking about Balovic. I know there's a lot of hype around him, and is he going to be the answer to this? Is this what we need? Or the money that we can spend on Balovic could bring in a midfielder and a striker that's not Balovic, say like a Jonathan David or something. Would that be more valuable, or do you think that just getting one striker will save the season?
We need a striker. We desperately need a striker, a clinical striker. And, Vlahovic, everyone knows I do the Transfer Daily Show, right? And I'd love to see him come in, because you can see today that we need a striker.
Yeah.
But if we don't get him, then what? I feel personally, I look at Eddie Nketiah coming off the bench. I'd much rather have Aubameyang come off the bench. I know Aubameyang's not played well. I don't know what's happened, between him and Mikel Arteta. But right now, I've been saying it for weeks. We've got a task on our hands to get into the top 4. There's a lot of teams, even Wolves are in it. Wolves are just a couple of points behind us now, and we've got to go and play them, home and away, right? You've got West Ham there, you've got Manchester United there, you've got, Tottenham there, right? What Man United have got over us is they've got more clinical strikers. You saw it the other day. You saw that yesterday. They're able to bring Rashford off the bench. They can bring, Cavani off the bench. We're bringing Eddie Nketiah. He's, no disrespect to him, he's not of the same levels. So the thing is about it is that if we don't get a striker in, then I think go and sit down, work out whatever the problem is with Aubameyang, try assimilate him and get him back into the team, because we need all we can get. And it's even today, we're all talking about the midfielders, and I look on it 2 ways. When they were doing their planning for this month, they're thinking, all right, we're trying to get a midfielder. Well, probably they're hearing it's going to be a bit of a problem to bring that midfielder in, but they're relying on Xhaka. Thinking to themselves, well, all right, we'll be short, El Nenny's going to be, but at least we'll have Xhaka and Sambi Lokonga in there. He goes and gets himself sent off. He as well has got to take some responsibility for a game like this, because this is one of the games that he missed. That's the knock-on effect of getting sent off. This game and the game against Liverpool, those are the knock-on effects of when Granit Xhaka gets sent off. It's not just that day, and even all the players being so knackered, maybe that's because the amount of running they had to do in that game, again, because of him. But then again, I can then look on it and say, well, Mikel Arteta put his faith in Xhaka when we could have sold him in the summer. So,
but could you also look at it and say that 11 should be beating Burnley though out there?
It should be beating Burnley, but they were very well organised, low block. We know what they're going to do. A point for Burnley is a brilliant point here. They're battling the relegation. It's a great point for them, right? So we know what they're going to do. We know they're going to frustrate. We know they're going to. So why are we playing such a slow tempo? Honestly, I was so disappointed today. And now, like Lee was just saying, we've got a couple of weeks until the next game. It's not even like we've got one to bounce back with.
This was the bounce back game.
Well, we didn't. I'm worried. I personally think now that the only good that could come of this, and we've seen this before in the past, is that they get busy this last week in the transfer window and bring in a couple of signings that are going to excite the fans. then we get the other players back, and then we can just say, right, let's have a kick on till the end of the season. Because to me, me and the guys have been arguing, we've been arguing. Yep. I do feel this season it's more important for Arsenal to get into the top 4 than win the Carabao Cup. I know everybody's saying Carabao Cup, great, and it would have been great. I would have loved to have gone to Wembley, but if you said to me, right, Robbie, you got a choice. You can have one of these guaranteed, top 4 or the Carabao Cup. I would have took the top 4, because to me, where we are right now, Arsenal, we need to be back in Champions League football. Like that guy said, we can attract better players to the club, and that will help with the rebuilding of this football club. And that's why, for me, it's important to get into the top 4. But when I look around, what worries me is that squad-wise, I've said this before as well, starting 11 / 12, fine, good. But the minute Tomiyasu's out, the minute Partey's out, certain key players are missing, it's not that great. And then, when you look on the other teams, as I just said, what they're able to bring off the bench, we don't have that.
So do you generally believe we can get top 4? Say if we make the signings, you're talking about squad depth. If we make signings, you're kind of saying there that, top 4 should be possible. Do you generally believe this side?
I think it all depends on who we sign. Okay. I feel after today's result,
as a striker, not enough.
That's a big blow to our top 4 chances. It really is. We had games in hand and stuff like that. It's a massive blow to our top 4. I think now, what can give us a boost is try if we can pull off of Vlahovic, which is going to be really difficult, by the way. It's up to the player. It's not up to the club. The club want to sell him, and like that guy said, why does he want to come here? He might be. He's got a TV. He'll be watching this today, and he might be saying, "Well, I don't know, man." Right? So, unless we can pull off of Vlahovic or a couple of really good loan deals and something that lifts the. Look at Coutinho, who's gone to Villa, and it's just giving him a lift. We need something like that now in the last week of this transfer window. I seriously think we do, to add to the players we've got, even if it's one really good signing to give us a lift, and then we just say, right, we're going to go full pelt to try and get this top 4. But if we play like we did today, no chance.